Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kayla's Kitchen. Today we're doing something very exciting, and we're testing out 2 viral tea recipes, and I'm really excited. So recently I found 2 recipes on my Instagram that I just thought were so interesting and I really wanted to try them. So I am going to try these 2 recipes that both are like tea infused or tea inspired drinks. So that's what we're gonna do. So the first recipe that I'm going to be trying is the trending green tea recipe in China from Wayne Shen. And I will have both of the videos to these recipes linked down below. So if you want to watch the original video that I was inspired by, it's down there. But essentially what he does is he takes a bottle of Sprite and steeps some green tea in the Sprite, like cold steeps the green tea in the Sprite for 4 hours. And then puts it over some muddled lemons and also some passion fruit. I don't have passion fruit. Here's the thing, I don't really like passion fruit and I didn't get any for this. So technically it's not the exact recipe, but I have the Sprite and I have the lemons and we're gonna give it a go. So I used some Harney & Sons Japanese sencha to steep in here. My Sprite bottle looked bigger than the one that he used. So he only used 1 tea bag and I used 2. This is a 20-ounce bottle. So I have 2 sachets of the Harney & Sons Japanese sencha in here that I started this at about 7:30 in the morning, approximately 7:30ish. And it's now like 2, so it's been going for more than 4 hours, but that's fine. And yeah, you can tell when looking at the tea bags, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but the leaves have definitely expanded when looking in there. So that's a good thing because it means that it's actually been steeping. So I have my bottle of Sprite, and then I also have a glass here filled with some lemons. And I have my spoon with my cocktail mixer spoon, and it's got this stompy thing at the end to muddle. Oh, I know what I'm doing, first of all. I just want to clarify for anyone who's currently going, she has no idea what she's doing. That's not true. I do. Anyway, it's got the little stompy guy at the end to muddle the lemons with, so. Yeah, see? There's juice at the bottom. See? I told you I know what I'm doing. Anyway, I have 2 thin slices of lemons down in here that I just got sprayed with juice, anyway, that I'm just stomping on with this little guy. So, you know, I kind of want to get a lot of lemon juice. I want to get a lot because I don't have the passion fruit in there, and so I want all the juice I can get. Anyway, it's pretty juiced. Yeah, there's a good bit of juice down there. Yeah. And now I'm going to, with fear and trembling, open this. Because I don't know why, but I'm afraid it's going to explode on me. Haha, it did not. It does smell like green tea infused Sprite. Like, I can smell the tea. Interesting. Anyway, I'm just going to dump almost this whole thing in there. You can see the Sprite's not quite clear. And you know, maybe that's from the lemon juice, but maybe it's from the tea. I'm gonna taste it. That's really good. Without having the lemon in there, you get the like kind of bitter green tea. Yeah. It's light on the green tea, but you do taste it. I actually really like that. So I have high hopes for this so far. Anyway, I'm kind of gonna give it a little stir and maybe squish the lemon down. I don't know. I do know what I'm doing once again. I just want to clarify for everybody. Anyway, I have a glass of ice and my beverage. I'm just gonna pour it over here. Ta-da! It smells super fresh and citrusy. And you can smell the green tea a little bit. That's so delicious. It's super citrusy, but you're getting a little bit of the green tea in there. I'm really happy I went with a Japanese sencha. I'm happy that I went with a little bit of a stronger tea. And I think I'd almost use more tea bags because it doesn't really taste like tea. It's providing some flavor, but it's not like, oh, that tastes like green tea. So the tea flavor isn't super strong, but it is delicious. If I were to make this again, I'd double the tea bags. I almost used, I have from Vadam, I have one of their High Mountain green teas, which is a super light, it's a little bit nutty, but it's just a very light in flavor tea in general. And I almost used that and I went, no, I'm gonna use this Japanese sencha. And I'm glad I did, because I think that if I had used that other green tea, it wouldn't be strong enough. This is perfect. That's really good. That's really good. Like, that's amazing. So the first one, trending green tea recipe, delicious. Delicious. I see why it's trending. 10 out of 10, amazing. So this second recipe is an Earl Grey tea cream soda. And this recipe comes from Luann over at, her Instagram is Teaholic, and she also has a blog called The Teacup of Life. And so I found she made a reel with this recipe, and I found it through the reel, but then you go to her blog for the full recipe. And I am so excited to try this. So what you do is make some Earl Grey simple syrup. And here's the thing. I decided to do this, and I started steeping the Sprite to do this video as a combined both of these in one video. I started steeping the Sprite, and then I went to go make the Earl Grey tea when the Sprite was, I was like, okay, it's ready, it's time to do this. And I realized I didn't really have a lot of Earl Grey in my house at the moment because I've been on a huge sip down, and I've been like, I know that you love Earl Grey, but don't buy more because then you'll drink it instead of drinking the tea that you have to sip down on. So this little concoction is a combination of 1 sachet of Harney & Sons Paris, which is, it's an Earl Grey with some caramel and currant flavor in it. So it is an Earl Grey, but it just has some other flavorings in it. As well as a teaspoon of Simpson & Vale's Shakespeare tea, which is an Earl Grey with some rose and lavender. So, you know, it's, I was freestyling a little bit. But again, I do indeed know what I'm doing. And then the way that you make this, according to her recipe, is it's supposed to be 2 teaspoons of loose leaf tea to a 1/4 cup of water and a 1/4 cup of sugar to make this simple syrup, which is what I have here. Just the 2 teaspoons of tea that I used were 2 different teas, but that's fine. Because it smells delicious. It smells like Earl Grey. Okay, so to make this, I have a cup of ice, and I have my tea simple syrup. And we're gonna put, she said like a couple tablespoons of this, so like half of it or a third of it into this. All right, so we've got the syrup in there. You can see it, it's there. And then, because this is a cream soda, you go in with some sort of seltzer water, club soda, something like that. She said you can use a variety of different things. I found this is the brand Polar seltzer water, but this is orange vanilla flavored, and because bergamot, which is the main ingredient for Earl Grey, is a type of orange, or like a variety of like it comes from orange, I don't know, they're related. I thought this would go well. All right. I didn't look up how much to use. I'm just gonna wing it. Maybe more. Yeah, that seems good. All right. So there's the soda, Earl Grey soda, and then to finish it off, the cream soda part, she said to use whipped cream. So that's what this is here for. This has got to be beautiful. Nice. Okay. Well, it's beautiful from the front. Just don't look at that. And that looks gorgeous. Enough said. That is so fun. The ombre, the cream on top. Who wouldn't love this? This would be, assuming it tastes delicious, which I'm assuming it's going to. Assuming this tastes delicious, this would be such a fun summer tea party drink. Instead of doing, you know, tea parties, you normally have like hot tea. But during the summer, not everyone wants to drink hot drinks, mainly me. I don't like drinking hot drinks during the summer, and this would be such a fun thing to serve. Okay, so now you have to mix it up. But you just had to admire the beauty of it first. Okay. I'm gonna try, before I mix the cream in too much, I wanna try just some of the soda mixed in with the syrup. That's amazing. It tastes like Earl Grey soda. Like it doesn't, you know? Here's the thing. I don't like sparkling water. It's gross. It doesn't taste like what it says it's gonna taste like. Actually, here's the thing. I've tried this on its own, and it tastes okay, but I like sweet things. And so, this isn't very sweetened. As in, it's not sweetened. And to me, that's just not my jam. It's fine. It's fine. But this, and this is the non-cream infused part, with the soda infused with, or the seltzer water infused with the Earl Grey, it tastes like Earl Grey soda because it's kind of sweet, because it's a simple syrup, so there's sugar in it. That's delicious. That's delicious. Okay, now we're gonna mix the cream in to make it the cream soda. Kind of have to stir vigorously to get the cream in there. I mean, now it's just creamier. So the way that you make the simple syrup, I'm gonna go a few steps back to give more thoughts on the flavor. The way that you make the simple syrup is that you let the tea steep in hot water. You do 2 teaspoons of tea steeping in 1/4 cup of hot water for 5 minutes, and then add in your sugar and bring it to a boil until the sugar dissolves so that you have your simple syrup. So, what I would do next time, because when you put it in, you're diluting the Earl Grey flavor in both the seltzer water and in the cream, right? So every time you add in another element, you're diluting the original flavor just a little bit. And you definitely got a hint of the Earl Grey flavor when it was just the seltzer and the simple syrup. But when you add in the cream, it goes away a little bit more. And so what I would do next time is do a little bit more tea and do what I'm about to do right now, which is add in more simple syrup than I did before. Yeah, and then it comes through much more with that Earl Grey. And you know, because of the teas that I happen to use, right? So I used Paris, which has some caramel in it, and it has like vanilla as well, so it's really creamy. And then I also used some of the Shakespeare tea from Simpson & Vale, which has some floral stuff in it, right? It has rose and lavender, so it's slightly floral, it's creamy, it's super creamy. But you're getting that really bright citrus flavor. Spectacular. I feel like if you really wanted a like super apparent, this is tea flavored, using a little bit more tea leaves would definitely boost it a little bit. It doesn't need it. And if you're really introducing to someone to tea with something like this, if someone's they're not necessarily a super big tea fan in general, sticking with her recipe would be good. As someone who I'm like, oh, I really want it to taste a lot like tea, I would make it a little bit more concentrated. But it kind of depends on your audience. Well, that was probably the most delicious video I've ever filmed. I would, like, 10 out of 10, recommend both of these recipes. They are so delicious, and they're super good for refreshing summer treats as well. They're delicious. I could not praise these enough. That was really yummy. But I gotta clean all this up now, so, you know. But that is all for this episode of Kayla's Kitchen. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe down below. I tend to post once a week, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, you know. But if you enjoy my content, please consider giving me a subscribe and hitting that notification bell so that you know every time that I post. But that's all for now, so as always, happy sipping.